Hello, my name is Randall Stoner, aka Madcarver. Welcome to the Madcarver Patreon page. I create magical realistic sculptures that depict scenes from years and years of reading fiction, such as fantasy and sci-fi, even thrillers. The mediums I use are hardwoods of numerous types, such as butternut and birch, basswood mainly, such as this one here. Creation of my art is produced by the use of chisels, such as these here. And these sculptures vary in size anywhere from 1 foot to 3 or more feet. The depths that I tend to try to use are anywhere from 2 inches to as high as 8 or 10 inches. In addition to my specialty, such as this one in high bas-relief, I have also created full busts and standalone sculptures as well. I look for the deepest depth and the highest height, in addition to the most intriguing angles from the character and surrounding objects. An example, this piece here, the highest point is 5.5 inches, and the lowest point approximately around here is pretty minuscule. It's probably close to a 1/16 of an inch in that area. One of the more frequent ways I find inspiration for my work is through the stories I love to read. Particularly moving passages permeate my thoughts and fuel creative action. I find myself reliving, feelings of inhabiting this other reality so thoroughly that the unreal elements of the story, such as the dwarves and ogres, seem spectacularly real long after I've put the book back on the shelf. It is, I think, this immersion into the prosaic lives and the monumental struggles and specifically the epic successes that these characters go through that make it possible for me to create a worthy piece of art as I'm trying to mirror what I'm doing here physically with the feelings that I have obtained from the literature itself. My goals for this page are what I've narrowed down to be about threefold. First, I'd like to pass on the knowledge that I've obtained and gathered over the last 20 plus years. This format that Patreon allows us can be very conducive for a learning atmosphere. As I create piece after piece, start to finish, with varying degrees of difficulty and complexity, the patrons will be able to see the challenges that are present for me as well as for them. They'll be able to get help with their own work and explore my world of wood carving. Among the things that patrons will be able to learn are, of course, the carving, but in addition to that, they'll learn some tool sharpening and the frame creation and the other things that I have to go through to create a carving start to finish. Second, I'd like to pull wood carving out of the folk art stigma that has followed it since possibly its inception, into the light of modern day art. I feel that the wood medium, when presented as art, can receive an undesirable connotation that should not devalue the art, but in fact enhance it. The difficulty of the creation is so far-reaching that I don't understand why it would be considered folk art to begin with, especially when you consider what's being done with wood carving today. Lastly, becoming a patron of Madcarver directly affects my ability to produce more work of varying subject matter by making it possible for me to, obtain all of the stuff that's basically overhead. Overhead's considering, the chisels, the sharpening, the compound used for the buffing wheel itself, the leather, blah, 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 blah. There's documentation that I send out with each new piece that's purchased, and the website and the social media, and everybody knows what's involved with overhead. But it's a lot of money. I wish I could just go to the lumber yard and buy a big old stick of wood and just create a carving and then, sell it. But that's not always possible. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into creating a finished piece. I'd really like to thank you for even considering becoming a patron, and I'll try to do my best to be good at it. Thank you.